Friends, our next derivation is our perpendicular axis theorem. So this theorem is applicable only for laminar bodies. Now, where you have heard this word lamina? Lamina word is specially used in case of leaves. The shape of a leaf is like a lamina. Okay, thin flat surface can be called as lamina. A ring, a disc are good examples of what? Laminar surfaces. Now, what does this particular theorem tell you? See, imagine you are having a thin lamina and we have got two axes mutually perpendicular to each other. What? We have got two axes mutually perpendicular to each other in the plane of the lamina. In the plane of the lamina, there are two axes perpendicular to in the plane of the lamina. See, one is this axis. Suppose this is the x-axis and other is the y-axis. Okay, both are mutually perpendicular to each other and lying in the plane of the lamina. Then, according to perpendicular axis theorem, if I draw another axis, okay, if I draw another axis perpendicular to lamina and passing through the intersection of these two axes, okay, these three axes will be now called as concurrent axis. What? Concurrent axis, because they all are intersecting at a common point. Now imagine this axis is x, this is y and this is z. Moment of inertia along x-axis is ix, along y-axis is iy and along z-axis is iz. Then according to perpendicular axis theorem, iz will be equal to ix plus iy. That means moment of inertia about an axis perpendicular to the plane of lamina, perpendicular plane of lamina will be equal to the sum of the two sum of moment of inertia about the two mutually perpendicular axes intersecting at the point where the perpendicular axis cuts the lamina, or in short iz will be equal to ix plus iy. How we derive this expression? Let's see on the board. See here, this is a flat lamina and this x and y axis are the two axes which are lying in the plane of lamina and they are perpendicular to each other, x axis and y axis. They are intersecting at point O, and this axis is the perpendicular axis to the lamina, okay, that is z axis. Now I assume that moment of inertia about x axis is ix, moment of inertia along y axis is iy and moment of inertia about z axis is iz. Now what I have done here, I have taken a small element at point P, small element dm at point P, okay, and from that point P I have drawn a straight line up to the intersection of all the three axes, point O. Also I have dropped perpendicular on x axis, that is Pm, and perpendicular to the y axis, that is Pn, okay. Pn and Pm are the perpendiculars drawn from what? Point P to the x axis and to the y axis. Now come to the main part. See, if I want to find moment of inertia of mass dm about z axis, about what? Z axis, what will I write? This is mass dm, this is z axis. The distance between the axis of rotation and mass dm is OP. So by formula for moment of inertia, I will simply write OP square dm. Is it clear? Using the formula for moment of inertia. Now if I want to find moment of inertia of complete lamina, okay, about z axis, what will I write? Okay, complete lamina, I have told you that we can integrate this. I'll write iz equal to integration of OP square dm. This I call it as equation 1. Hope this is clear. Okay, now move on. Again I want to find moment of inertia of dm about x axis, about x axis. Now you see this is the x axis and this is the mass dm. and the perpendicular distance between mass dm and x-axis is pm. So I'll write pm square dm, right? And similarly, moment of inertia of complete lamina about x-axis will be Ix equal to integration of pm square dm, right? But if you see carefully, value of pm is what? Y. So it can be written as simply Ix equal to y square dm. Is it okay? Do you understand this? Okay. This I call it as equation 2. And come to the last part. Okay. Moment of inertia of dm about y axis will be, look at this is the y axis and perpendicular distance from dm is np. So I'll write np square dm, and moment of inertia of lamina about y axis will be integration of np square dm, or I'll call it as what? Iy, and that is nothing but integration of np is what? Np is nothing but distance x. This is distance what? X, and that's why I'll write x square dm. I'll call this as equation 3. Okay. Now, from geometry of the figure, in triangle OMP, using Pythagoras theorem, I'll write OP square equal to OM square plus MP square, correct? Now what I do, I multiply throughout by, now OP square can also be written as OM, distance OM according to the geometry of is x and MP is y, okay? So I'll write OP square equal to x square plus y square. Here I multiply by dm and integrate throughout. What I get? OP square dm, integration of OP square dm equal to integration of x square dm plus integration of y square dm, right? But from equations what? 1, 2 and 3. Okay, for your sake I am showing those equations. See, these 3 equations, Iz is integration of OP square dm, Ix is integration of y square dm, right? And Iy is integration of x square dm. We substitute the values in this expression. What I get? OP square dm is Iz and integration of x square dm is Iy and integration of y square dm is Ix. So finally we get this expression Iz equal to Iy plus Ix, which is nothing but our perpendicular axis theorem. Okay.